shift, the stakes are high. The mag breaks it down, no need to sigh. From EU rules to global news, Reg with Meg, your trusted views.
Welcome to Reg with Meg's weekly regulatory roundup. This week, we're doing a deep dive into a topic that's been buzzing in the digital health and wellness community. The FDA has released a significant update to its guidance on low-risk devices.
That's right. On January 6, 2026, the agency dropped the revised final version of its guidance titled General Wellness Policy for Low-Risk Devices. This is a major update, and it supersedes the previous version that's been in place since September 2019.
And it's incredibly important for developers, entrepreneurs, and even consumers. This guidance is all about clarifying which wellness apps, wearables, and other low-risk health tools fall outside of the FDA's medical device oversight.
Exactly. It's the playbook for understanding what the FDA considers a general wellness product versus a regulated medical device. Getting that distinction wrong can be a costly mistake. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is a general wellness product according to this new guidance?
Fundamentally, it hasn't changed from the 2019 version, but the clarity has improved. A general wellness product is a tool, often a wearable, an app, or some other consumer health gadget that supports overall health or healthy behaviors. The key here is that it does so without making medical claims or performing medical functions.
Right. It's about maintaining or encouraging a general state of health, not diagnosing, treating, or preventing a specific disease or condition.
Precisely. And to qualify, the FDA guidance lays out two main conditions that a product must satisfy. First, it must be intended solely for general wellness use.
And what does that mean in practice?
It means the claims are about promoting a healthy lifestyle. Think about claims related to weight management, physical fitness, relaxation or stress management, mental acuity, self-esteem, things like that. For example, an app that tracks your daily steps to encourage activity is a classic general wellness product.
Mm-hmm. Or a meditation app that guides you through breathing exercises to reduce stress.
Exactly. The second condition is that the product must present a low risk to the user's safety. This is critical.
And low risk means it's not invasive, doesn't involve an intervention or technology that could pose a risk if it failed, like lasers or radiation. And it's not being marketed to vulnerable populations for whom a malfunction could be dangerous.
That makes sense. A fitness tracker on your wrist is low risk. A device you have to implant is not. So with that foundation, let's get into the meat of the update. What are the key changes in this 2026 guidance? The first one listed is criteria classification.
Right. This is all about providing more structure. The previous version was a bit more narrative. This new version more clearly separates and defines the criteria for what constitutes a general wellness claim. It breaks it down into categories, making it easier for a developer to check their product's claims against a more defined list. It reduces the gray area.
So it's less about interpreting a paragraph and more about following a checklist.
That's a good way to put it. It helps standardize the assessment process for companies, which is a huge benefit in terms of reducing legal risk and the need for case-by-case consultations with the FDA.
Okay, that sounds like a welcome change for the industry. The next key update mentioned is an expansion of physiological parameters. That sounds a bit technical.
It is, but it's also where a lot of the innovation is happening. The 2019 guidance was written when consumer wearables were mostly tracking steps and basic heart rate. Technology has advanced significantly.
Of course, now we have devices tracking sleep stages, stress levels through heart rate variability, skin temperature, respiratory rate, even blood oxygen saturation.
Exactly. This update explicitly acknowledges many of these newer parameters. It clarifies that tracking things like heart rate variability for stress management or sleep cycles for sleep quality improvement can fall under the general wellness umbrella, as long as they aren't being used to diagnose a condition like sleep apnea or atrial fibrillation.
So the context of the claim is everything. You can track SpO2 and say, this can help you monitor your levels during high-altitude training for general fitness. But you can't say, this will alert you to signs of COPD.
You've hit the nail on the head. That's the line. This expansion gives innovators more room to use the powerful sensors that are now common in consumer devices without immediately tripping the wire into medical device territory.
Which leads perfectly into the next update, expanded examples of acceptable general wellness technologies. I imagine this is the FDA trying to put some real-world context to these rules.
It is. The guidance now includes a much richer set of examples. It talks about apps that use cognitive behavioral therapy principles for improving mood or sleep hygiene. It mentions smart scales that track body composition for fitness purposes. It even touches on wearables that provide alerts to remind you to get up and move or to practice mindfulness.
That's incredibly helpful. Having concrete FDA-provided examples removes so much guesswork for companies. They can look at the list and say, what we're building is very similar to example C, so we're likely on the right track.
Right. It provides a safer harbor for developers. The 2019 guidance had examples, but they fell a bit dated almost immediately. This new list is much more reflective of the current market and the kinds of products consumers are actually using today.
Okay, and the final key update is about indication to seek professional care. This seems like an important consumer safety point.
It's a big one. The FDA is clarifying how a general wellness product can and should prompt users to talk to a doctor without it being considered a diagnostic tool. The updated policy provides clearer language on acceptable user notifications.
So, what's the difference between an acceptable and an unacceptable notification?
An acceptable notification would be something like, your trends over time can provide useful information to discuss with your healthcare provider. It's empowering the user to have a more informed conversation. An unacceptable notification would be, your heart rate is abnormally high. Seek immediate medical attention. Because that implies a diagnosis of a specific acute problem.
That's a very clear distinction. It's about providing data for a conversation, not sounding an alarm.
Correct. This update acknowledges the reality that consumers are using these devices to collect health data, and they're bringing that data to their doctors. The FDA is providing a framework that allows this to happen responsibly without turning every wellness app into a regulated medical device.
So let's zoom out. What does this all mean in the grand scheme of things? What are the biggest implications of this updated guidance for the digital health industry?
I think the biggest takeaway is more flexibility and clarity. The expanded types of wellness technologies and physiological parameters mean developers have more freedom to innovate. They can build more sophisticated, more useful products for consumers without the heavy burden and cost of full medical device regulation.
And the clearer definitions and examples reduce risk.
A huge amount of risk. The guesswork is minimized. A company can now build its product and its marketing language with a much higher degree of confidence that they are staying within the regulatory boundaries. This should lower legal costs and speed up time to market.
What about for consumers? Does this change anything for the person buying the smartwatch or downloading the wellness app?
For consumers, it likely means more innovative and helpful products will become available faster. But it also reinforces the need for them to understand what these products are and are not. They are not medical devices. They can't diagnose you. They are tools to help you engage with and improve your general wellness.
That's an important point. These tools can empower you, but they don't replace your doctor.
Absolutely. And this guidance really seems to lean into that partnership model between the user, their data, and their healthcare provider. It's a modern approach that reflects how people are actually using technology in their lives.
So, to sum it all up, the FDA's January 2026 update to the general wellness guidance is a significant step forward. It provides much-needed clarity, expands the scope for innovation in low-risk digital health, and offers a more structured framework for developers.
It's an evolution, not a revolution, but it's an important and necessary evolution that aligns regulatory thinking with the pace of technological change and consumer behavior. It's a win for developers who want to innovate responsibly, and a win for consumers who want access to these tools.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. And if you have any questions or feedback, email us at meg-marketing@medenvoyglobal.com. Until next time, stay informed and stay compliant. Bye, guys.